right, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I've been doing meditation lately. I've been doing 36 minutes. Not every day, I haven't got consistency yet, but every other day. Or 3 days in a row, 1 day off. Just some days I don't get around to it, alright? But 36 minutes is right in that sweet spot. There's a place you can get to when you meditate that's exactly the same as like being blackout drunk. That's the place I fucking loved going when I was drunk. That fucking quiet place. You just keep drinking until it's just you by yourself in there. You know when you drink that much and all your thoughts just slow down. They grind to a halt. You can only really hold like one simple thought in your head at a time. You don't get distracted because you're too fucked. So you're just in that space in your head by yourself and you're just having a look around. You're like, oh, there's not much going on up here. This is nice. It's peaceful. That's the way I used to drink until annihilation, until I got to that sweet spot where I was barely conscious. That sweet, sweet spot. The only problem with getting there through drinking is the fucking collateral damage it does to the rest of your fucking psyche and physical being. I think that spot, I think it's a good place to be. That's where you're trying to get. Like the goal is right. You want everything to slow down. You want to have no thoughts in your head. You want to be in like a cavernous sort of like silence. It's just the path you take to get there. If you do it through booze, if you try and take the shortcut through fun, then the damage is going to be fucking brutal. But you can do it through meditation. When I hit like the 25th minute of meditation, I get to this spot and I'm like, this is familiar. It's just me here alone. I've just got one little narrative running through my head. I'm trying to get that down to zero, but there's no chatter, there's no interruptions, there's no distractions. It's just nice and peaceful up there. And I was looking around and I'm like, this is where I used to come drinking. This was my happy place. I mean, when I was drinking, you wouldn't have thought I was in a happy spot, like passed out in the gutter with like drool running down my face, but I was. It's the same place. Everything just stops and slows down for a little while. It's kind of fucking cool going through that process of meditation because you start and your mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. It's just fucking pedal to the fucking metal, just bombardments of thoughts that you're not even thinking. They're just getting thrown in there. And the first few minutes, you're like, how the fuck am I going to do 36 minutes of this shit? And then slowly they fucking start dropping off all the crazier thoughts. And then you're left with like a bunch of different shit just bouncing around, ping-ponging. And then you refocus, you drop a few more thoughts, and then your back gets sore, so you readjust, and then more thoughts pour in, and then you got to get rid of those again. And then you're like, should I be blinking this much? And more thoughts come back in, and then you got to get rid of them, and then the process takes a little bit longer. But eventually, by like the 24th, 25th minute, it's just you in your little fucking dumb head, just looking around, just going, fuck. It's pretty dark in here. Coo-wee, wee, wee, wee. You know, you've just got that very like basic like one thought going on in your head. And you're not necessarily in control of that thought, but it's not a completely fucking wild animal like it was when you started. That's not where you want to stop. That's not the end goal of the meditation. I just like that spot because that's where I was trying to get drinking, and it would take me like a bottle of gin, half a slab, fucking a pack of darts all night, and I can get to the same spot in like 24 minutes of meditation. And the cost of getting there is completely fucking different. What, you sit on the ground cross-legged for a few minutes, you stand up, and your legs are a little bit stiff. I'm willing to pay that price. On the other hand, you're fucking vomiting all day. You have depression, anxiety, existential crisis. You're suicidal, you're weak, just to get that little fucking glimpse of peace. I don't know what thoughts are about either. It's like thoughts are distracting you deliberately from what's really going on. It's like your thoughts are like your phone or the TV or whatever, the internet. It's almost like we're in a virtual reality and your very own thoughts are the media. And if you can get past those thoughts, you can start seeing reality a little bit. I don't know. I was thinking that when I was meditating. You're not even meant to be thinking. That's one of the catch-22s about meditation is you sit there in silence and you're trying not to think. You're not even trying not to think, but you're trying to empty your mind. You're trying to give yourself some fucking space. And that's the only time in the day you really get a chance to give your mind some space. So you end up doing some of your best thinking during meditation while you're not meant to be thinking. And yes, it is a little bit of a problem if I think me thinking that our thoughts are like multimedia is some of my best thinking. It is a problem. But if that's some of my best thinking, then you don't want to see some of my worst thinking. It ain't pretty. Anyway, that will fucking do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. If you're in Melbourne, come down to the Oppression Chamber's 100th episode recording down at the Rubber Chicken on the 19th of November. Get your tickets, email me, send me a message. The link will be in my bio. But fucking come down. Will be fun. Stand-up podcast and all that shit. Anyway, that's it. And I'll see ya the fuck later.